So we'll sort of pick up where we left off in the last video. All the parts are pretty much made and seem to be working pretty well. So one thing I need to do now is to make the shelf that the microwave is going to sit on. And it needs to be exactly the right distance down from the hole that the microwave is going to be in, which is about 1/2 inch. Now this all went just fine, but I went to put the microwave in to see if it would fit. And I had always measured that hole based on the face of the microwave, where the door is. And I'd forgotten about the feet on the microwave that are part of the bottom. They can't be removed. So the microwave wasn't going to fit through the hole in the front of the cabinet, which is a little bit of a problem. But what I figured out is I could put the microwave in from below, put it through the hole for the drawers, and then lift it up into place. But what that was going to mean is I was going to need a whole different way to hold the microwave up. It wasn't going to be able to be a big flat shelf. What I came up with was to make 2 beams, or 2 struts. And the idea was to lift the microwave into place. Then I could put these struts under the microwave and sort of rotate them into place onto the brackets I'd made for the shelf. These would fall under where the feet for the microwave are. And it actually worked. It's a little hard holding the microwave in place with one hand while I put the struts into place, but it actually works. Then I can put some finish on. So I used unfinished birch, and I just put on polyurethane. And I just put it on where you'd see it, so the back 2 sides of the cabinet don't have any finish. And then just the drawer faces, and the little base, and the tray at the top. Then another thing I need to make is the little cork board that goes in the front. So I had actually done this a few days earlier, where I glued the piece of cork board to a thin sheet of plywood to get the 3/4 inch thickness of the cabinet. So I just glued the 2 pieces together with a little clamping, which worked pretty well. So once those were glued together, I could trim them down to size. After I got this together, I realized I should have just bought a single square foot tile of cork instead of a whole sheet, because that's what I ended up with. So to attach this, I made some cleats that'll go in the back. So they'll screw to the back of the panel and then to the inside back of the cabinet. That'll just fit in that hole. And doing it this way, it means at some point, if this needs to get replaced, if it just gets too beat up and used over time, I can do that. So I can start to clear out the old stuff and bring in the new. I'll start with the base. And I can bring in the cabinet, which was heavy but still movable. Now that it's in place, I can screw the base to the cabinet, or the cabinet to the base, I guess. Now this was a little bit of an afterthought. I realized I was going to have the shredder and the microwave, so what I needed was a little power strip in the cabinet. I'm really wishing I'd cut a little hole with the CNC for this to fit into and make it look a little more finished, but it's not something that's going to get seen, so it sort of doesn't matter. Then I can install the cork board. So really that's just putting it in place and putting the screws in. That seems to work pretty well. Then for the microwave to go in. And I practiced this a few times. But what I didn't realize is the little power strip I had just put in was now in the way of the microwave. I thought there was more room in there. So I had to take the microwave out, take the power strip out that I just put in, then put the microwave in, and then put the power strip back in again. So you can see how the struts rotate into place. And the microwave's just sitting there. It's not actually attached. I'm going to see how that works, whether it stays in place or whether it moves around. It may be at some point I need to attach the microwave a little better. So then the drawers can go in. And the first one went in just fine, and then the second one was getting stuck about halfway into the slide, but it was just the slides. So I just pushed it hard enough and it worked. So now the shredder can go in. I did end up zip tying the cord for the shredder together, so it's not just flopping around in there. It seems to stay out of the way. And the top mail tray can go in, and it's together. And now I can talk about it. So it's basically done. The microwave's in. It works, and it's all plugged in. The door opens all the way. It actually clears over here. This little cutout is for the light switch that's in here, and I did this little shape. I guess you'd call it a motif, where your hand goes is this little bumpy shape, and this isn't necessarily a place that you grab, but it's a place that your hand goes to get to the light switch. So it's more like a sign here than an actual function, which is a similar shape to the drawer pull. So I have a spot for the shredder. So the mail we don't want can go in the shredder. And then next to that is a spot for recycling. And I want to build a box that fits into this with handles on it, so that when it's time to take the recycling out, we can just pull the whole box out and take it out to our blue recycling container. And then the tray on the top lifts off for mail. I didn't realize how close it was going to be over here, so you can't really get to this handle. There's a handle on it, so you can take this tray somewhere and sort the mail or whatever. And it's the top trim. We'll see how it works. Thanks for watching.